In the time it took me to get my camera on the stand and hit record, I've already forgotten what I was even gonna say. Welcome to the vlog though. I hope you're having a good week. I'm just working right now. I just submitted my invoice for the pay period. And I feel like, oh, I remember now. I knew I would remember. Because it has to do with the invoice. So I get paid every 2 weeks, obviously, like most people, I think. But as an independent contractor, you get paid for however much you did, right? And so I was, at the end of last pay period, I was like, okay, this is my number. This is what I'm going to aim towards. Like, and I even wanted to do a little bit more than I did last pay period and kind of like build up. That was my plan. It did not go to plan. I ended up doing like, not a whole lot less, but like 3 days less is how, like, averaged out 3 days less than I did the previous pay period. And I was like feeling down about it, like feeling hard on myself about it. So I'm trying to just like have more compassion about the fact that like this time around, this pay period, I was struggling a lot with my dizziness. So it's okay. Like it's not that big of a deal. It is less money than I was wanting, but it's okay. It's just money. I can work towards that original number this pay period, right? So anyway, that's all. I'm feeling down because I didn't meet my goal, my self-administered goal, but it's okay. It's okay. I can have compassion for myself about it. So anyway, hope you're doing well. Today is my nephew's birthday, so he has 2 friends over for the night, and I ordered them pizza. And like, we got the pizza, we ate the pizza. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been at least a half an hour since we've gotten the pizza. And I just got a phone call from the pizza place, and they were like, I just want to clarify or verify that you got the pizza. And I was like, yeah. He was like, do you happen to remember who the driver was, the delivery person was? And I was like, I don't know his name, but I described what he looked like. And then he like was like, and then he was like, okay, that sounds like Frank. That helps out a lot. And then like that was the end of the conversation. And now I'm like worried about Frank. Like, is Frank okay? Like, did he get into a car accident, or did he just like take his tips and leave? Like, I left him a nice, like, generous tip. But yeah, it's so weird. It's like, but I'm the type of person where I like start to overthink it, and now I'm like unsettled and like genuinely worried about Frank. Anyway, I hope he's okay. There's no way for me to know, but it was just weird. Remember this morning when I was talking about how I didn't meet my goal, my own personal goal for my writing job? Well, today I just like knocked it out of the park, and I did the most assignments today that I've ever done in one day. I don't know why. It's not that I wasn't dizzy, because I was, and there were moments where I had to like breathe through the like dizzy episode. Like, I'm always dizzy, but like every once in a while, like I said in, I think it was the last video, where I just feel like that like loss of balance all of a sudden. So I had to like breathe through that a couple of times, but I don't know, my focus was good, and I was just able to get through more notes today than I have ever in one day. So it's a great start to the new pay period, and hopefully I can keep that up. I'm going to show you the sky. Aren't the clouds cool? They're like spelling out a word or something. You see XP something, or maybe a big E right there. Happy Saturday. It is a not so great morning so far. I don't know why, I just woke up this morning worse than I have been in a couple of weeks, since like that a few videos back where I was like really not doing well. I'm not quite as bad as I was at that period of time, but I've had an increase, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I spent more time yesterday on my computer. Like I said, I worked a lot yesterday. I got more notes done in a day than I have ever. I don't know, maybe I pushed myself too much. I don't know. I will say though that I am also about to start my period, so it's possible that it's just that. That's probably all that it is. That's probably all that it is. But I'm like fighting the temptation to take my anxiety med because I know that helps, but it's only been 4 days since I last took it, and so I'm gonna try and just get through the day because I really don't want to be taking it regularly, like more than once a week. That's just my own self-imposed thing. I don't know if that's, it's so frustrating. So I've been, like, for the last few weeks or month or so, I don't know, I have been pretty adamant that what I'm experiencing is vestibular migraine, like, because I've been trying to read up more on it and learn more on it. And a part of me is like, no, this is good. Like, I should learn as much as I can about vestibular migraine and that sort of thing. But then there's this other part of me that's like, yeah, but what if it's not a vestibular, like, what if it's not? And I've just, like, wasted all of this time. Not that, like, learning information is ever wasted. Like, this, it's never a waste to learn new things. But I don't know where, I mean, I have been diagnosed with vestibular migraine. But I'm also, like, apprehensive about it. I don't know. That's just where my thoughts are this morning. Like, I'm just struggling again this morning. I haven't worked at all. Which, like I said yesterday, I don't technically have to work today because I did it all yesterday. This morning, I also, because I was feeling, I don't know why, like, I was feeling worse, and so I was like, I'm gonna try and be proactive and, like, look into the VRT that I'm gonna be starting in a couple weeks. And I probably shouldn't have done that, because then it just made me anxious about going. Because I, like, watched a video on YouTube of, like, what some of the exercises are that I could possibly be asked to do or instructed to do, and even she said, like, there's a very good possibility that your dizziness will be exacerbated by this, and if that's the case, then you're supposed to, like, reduce how much you do, or, like, do a little bit in the morning and then a little bit at night, and you're supposed to do the exercises every day. And I'm just like, I have to give it a shot though. Like, I have to give it a shot. There's this other thing that happens too as I'm, like, researching vestibular migraine and just vertigo and dizziness and just trying to be a good advocate for myself and, like, learning as much as I can. Sometimes the, like, symptoms or experiences of a certain thing, like, don't fit me at all because, one, I'm always dizzy. And then two, like, they'll say, like, it was something about, like, positional vertigo or something. There's like BPPV, and it's some type of, like, inner ear thing, right? And it's basically, like, the certain positions of your head cause dizziness, and that is true for me. But it's like, it says usually the person that experiences that, the dizziness subsides. I'm like, the dizziness never subsides. Oh, I remember. Okay, so this morning I had the thought, I was like, I'm gonna see if there's any, like, podcasts on vestibular migraine, which led me to a podcast called Talk Dizzy to Me. And I don't necessarily recommend it because I've only listened to, like, a couple, and I so far haven't really gotten anything great out of it. But I've only listened to, like, the first two. But it's, like, two people that are, like, vestibular system experts or something. I don't know. They're very passionate about the vestibular system. And, like, it was going along great. I was, like, listening, like, while I'm feeling worse. But listening to people talk about dizziness while you're really dizzy, probably, I think that was even maybe making me feel worse. But it was fine. Like, I was listening to it. Okay, first, the podcast is designed, they say, like, for clinicians and patients. But in this particular part, it sounds like they're talking to clinicians and not really to patients. But they were saying, like, yeah, like, when you do these exercises with your patients, there's definitely going to be some patients who their dizziness is really exacerbated, and then that can cause nausea and sometimes even vomiting. And they were like kind of like laughing about it, like, oh, it's so funny, like, yeah, like, oh, be aware of that, like, oh, it's part of the job. And like, not like they were making fun of the clients. I'm not, and I don't think that these women were like doing it at maliciously or with ill intent or anything like that whatsoever. But like, for me, as someone who suffers very much from vertigo and nausea because of the vertigo, someone who suffers from that, like, it was kind of jarring to hear clinicians like talk about that while like kind of laughing about it. It didn't feel great in the moment. And again, I don't think these women were like intentionally being malicious whatsoever. And they were giving like good advice to the clinicians, like buy those like sick bags, keep really handy for their patients. And they were talking about how it's totally different when they're doing a virtual appointment and they have a patient that gets sick, and then because then they're not physically there with them to comfort them, and it's just through words. And I don't know, like right now talking about it makes me feel emotional, but like they were like laughing. And again, I'm gonna reiterate, like, I really don't think they meant any ill intent whatsoever, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. You hear my dog, he wants to come inside. It just kind of seemed really insensitive. I will say that one of them talked about how when they were in school, their professor or head doctor or whoever really encouraged them to pour freezing cold water in their, I shall let my dog in, but pour really freezing cold water in their ear, because that changes the density of the fluid in your ear, which will stimulate vertigo, and in someone who doesn't normally have vertigo. And just so that the soon-to-be clinician can understand what it actually physically feels like to be dizzy. I don't know where I'm going with this. That's just how my morning has kind of gone. I woke up feeling bad, and then I think I made it worse by listening to people talk about being dizzy, and like trying to do research. And so I have now finished. I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna drink some cacao. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna light my candle. I'm gonna listen to a prayer. I'm gonna hold my little crystal. And then I decided to talk to you guys. So happy Saturday. Happy Sunday. Happy Easter if you celebrate. Since it's Easter, my friend, one of my childhood friends, so not the one that lives in Montana, but her brother who lives here, is gonna be right down the street today to visit his family for Easter. And his wife just recently had a baby a couple weeks ago now, and I haven't met the baby yet. When they're over there, I get to go over and finally meet the baby, so I'm really excited about that, because I love babies and I love my friend and I want to meet his baby. And then after that, this evening, my family is going to be over here for Easter dinner. I'm almost done with this book. I'm like 70 pages left, and it's gotten to the point where it's just kind of dragging on a little bit. It's like my least favorite thing is like, by this point in the book, I should not want it to be over just because I'm like getting bored with it. I should want it to be over because I like can't wait to find out what happens. But with this, it's like I'm getting bored. It's too drawn out, and there's only 70 pages left. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting bored. I'm getting a little bored. This is going to be a vague spoiler for this book. So if you were planning on reading this book, just skip ahead a little bit, because like I said, it's a vague spoiler. So in the book, a couple of campers go missing. I just got to the part where they are found. And where they are found, it's annoying me, because I'm like, why wasn't this like one of the very first places that was checked? Because it was a place that the adult in the situation and the campers had gone to. Like, they canoed across the lake and then they did a little hiding and found like a cool little hidey hole. Like, why earlier in the book, why wasn't that the first place to look? One of the first places to look when the girls go missing was like that cool little hidey hole. I'm annoyed. Like, what the heck? Well, I finished it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, but honestly, between you and me, it's a 3 out of 5. Like, I enjoyed it for the most part. I did. But like I said earlier, I eventually got bored and wanted it to be wrapped up. And then when you find out who is behind, like, some of this stuff, it's just like, okay, fine. And then when you find out, I will say, I guess the reason I gave it a 4 out of 5 is because, like, the final, like, official long running mystery that you find out is kind of chilling. So 4 out of 5. I think that's accurate. That little part towards the end where I was just like bored. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm so freaking tired. And the socializing of today hasn't even started yet. So it'll be fine. I hope I still get to go over to my friend's house to meet his baby, but I haven't heard from him yet. But that's fine. Whatever happens, happens. I think I just heard my brother come to our house.
The end of next year, or this year. She's like, I think me and the kids, we're going to move out there. And
so as I've mentioned briefly in past vlogs, I've like slowly gained some weight over the year. I don't really know why, other than just maybe from not exercising, not being as active. It's probably all that it is. Because I'm not like a big overeater. I don't drink soda. I don't eat fast food. Like, I don't know. I really don't think it has anything to do with my diet. I think it's just from not exercising, not being very active right now, and also being a woman in my 30s. Anyway, it's genuinely not a big deal to me, other than the fact that now my clothes don't fit, and that really annoys me because I hate shopping and I don't have a lot of disposable income to just go buy clothes. But I'm at the point now where I don't really have a choice. I have to go do that. So my mom is going to take me somewhere today because I can't drive. So she's going to drive me, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can actually find this is from wearing my glasses all morning because I was just working on my computer. Hopefully I will be able to find some comfortable, affordable clothing. Okay, so I've got some shorts. I ended up going to Old Navy, and I'm pleased with what I got, though I will say I haven't tried on the shirts because I didn't want to go back into the fitting rooms, and I saw them after I had tried on the shorts. But as you saw, I tried on. They look so huge, not on my body. It's so weird, but they fit. So anyway, I got these. These are my favorite. They're the slouchy straight. They are the slouchy straight fit, and I really like that because they're just really comfy. And then I got a dark wash. This is the original straight 5-seam. And then I got a couple of tank tops, this really pretty maroon color. I really wanted the green one like this. I spilled water on myself. I really wanted the green one like this color, but actually it was a little bit lighter. It was so pretty, but surprise, surprise, there weren't any unless you wanted an extra small or an XXL. So, and then I got a like slightly ribbed white tank, and then a smooth tank in a slightly bigger size, so they'll fit. I wasn't too concerned about trying them on. It's easier to fit tops than it is bottoms. Oh, and then I walked over to not Barnes and Noble, what is it called? Bath and Body Works, because my skin is so dry. I mean, I live in the desert, and I hate lotions so much. I hate putting it on, hate the feeling of it. And if I'm at my computer and I like put lotion on before or after I shower, and then I go and try and work, like it drives me so much to like feel lotion on at my computer. So I go and like scrub with soap, and then my skin gets even more dry. But I figured if I get like a nice like body cream, like a hand cream to put on before I go to bed, then that should help. And this is the white tea and sage scent. Listen, my issue with Bath and Body Works is that there are too many scents, and it's so overwhelming, and like I don't know how you can even like, I don't know, it was like so hard to just find a scent that I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just like, that place is so too much. It's too much. And thankfully this is like big enough, it will last me, so I don't have to go back. That's it. This is my day off. I'm grateful that I was able to go get new clothes and find clothes that fit and find clothes that are comfortable, but like I spent $75 on new clothes, and that's just, it's not even that much these days, but I calculated like how long it takes me to make that kind of money. Doing that is just, it's like a gut punch. And today, Monday, is supposed to be like my one day off where I don't have to do it at all, and I'm thinking like maybe I should work some today. But it's fine. What I really want is to read a new book, but I'm not in the mood to read any of the books I have. I'm also out of my cacao. It should be here tomorrow, but I'm out of it, so I'm missing that too. I'm just complaining. Thanks for being here this week. I am ending the video. It's the end of the week, I guess. I don't feel awesome, so I don't feel... Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Again, thanks for being here this week. Be safe, be well. I hope you find ways to enjoy your life, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.